Get on board with crypto. Sheesh. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another flippin' episode of Blaze Off with Ribs. Yeah, I'm Ribs. You know that. If you don't, hey. Anyways, so only a few of you watched my other video, but I made another video on this topic here, Bitcoin. Bitcoin. We're gonna repeat. We're going to repeat a pattern. We are literally repeating the pattern, as you can see with my yellow squiggly lines, circles, and everything. Let me remove some. Let me just remove some of these lines here. And as you can see, we are doing the exact same thing. So these two yellow circles here on the screen, we are repeating that process again. We are literally touching the bottom of the previous, so touching the bottom of the previous wick. We wicked down like just close enough to the bottom of that. So at 42,000, but we came down to 42,470. So we came really close to touching that, really like that bottom area. Now, this being said, this could be a giant Wyckoff pattern, but I think we're entered in a new Wyckoff pattern, and this is really playing out. So what happens next? I think in the next couple weeks, we'll probably see a little bit of we'll come back a little bit. We'll go back and retest some levels, but we're ultimately looking at a new pattern here. So, and it will be exactly like this. You can consider a descending wedge, a descending triangle, or a descending wedge. It really just depends upon how you want it to look and how you personally feel about it. I think it's a descending triangle here, which is a bearish pattern. It's bearish. It's very bearish. I am not bearish. I am bullish. But as you can see, we are repeating this pattern. We're faking out down below, and actually we'll put it down here to extend really the pattern here. So we got some touches here. We got a fake out here, just like, some touches here, a fake out, and then a massive drop to the bottom of the triangle, and then we're going to consolidate, drop again, and then we'll see what kind of happens. I don't know if it's going to go up. I'm feeling bullish on it. I think we'll repeat this pattern, and we'll see higher highs. We'll probably see, based on, let's see, if we start from the absolute bottom up until the top, we saw 134% gain just there. So if we have a similar gain from the bottom, which would be roughly around here, and we saw another, hold on, I just need to make my thing a bit bigger, but if we saw another 130-ish % increase from approximately where I think the fake out will be, 130 is off the map, but we could be looking at about 90,000. So about 90,000, if not a little bit more. Now that's if, so we'll go to about the same. So 100,000. So my target price from where we are is about 100,000. If we repeat exactly, which we're not going to repeat it exactly, but if we saw at least 100% gain, we're looking at anywhere between $80,000 and $100,000 per Bitcoin. This is huge. This is big. Will this pattern play out? No freaking idea. If it does, though, will I be rich? We'll all be rich. We'll all be rich. We'll all be rich. Yes. We'll all be rich. So, I think this could play out. I think it'll be at least another month. So by this time, February, we'll really see something moving here. Now, if I could get a real timeline on here when these months are, because it kind of just stops. So, November. So we're in January, February, so maybe about here. Let me just make a... probably about here or so, which will be near the end of this triangle. So realistically, we'll probably be looking at the beginning of February. And that will end this trend. So usually about 70 to 75%, once we hit that area of a trend, especially like in these triangles, as you can see over here, it hit about 70% before it actually broke down. So we'll probably see something similar, especially since this is playing out almost exactly the same. Which is crazy because institutions are about to get in, more institutions. I wouldn't even be surprised if MicroStrategy is buying right now, or they already did buy, but they have a large holding as is. But other institutions like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, we could see them really like picking up the pace on owning some of this Bitcoin. Grayscale might even pick up more. So what I'm saying is this is all speculation and none of this is financial advice, but we could be seeing $100,000 Bitcoin by February, beginning of February. We could see it by end of January. It's possible. We might even, by the end of this month. I wouldn't be, because this pattern is shorter, much shorter than the previous one here. So we could see it by the end of January, last week of January, probably before the 31st, because we're going to have a lot of contracts ending around then. So we'll see. This is kind of big. Freaking crazy, man! Freaking crazy! So yeah, keep this in mind. I know I opened up a couple trades just now, closed some earlier just before this big old dip, but we are sitting pretty with this, so I put in some trades because I believe that this is going to happen. Not financial advice. There are no trade signals for this, so don't do what I do. I'm taking a pretty big risk here by doing this. We could easily just flop and just go all the way down to here to this $30,000 range. We could see that level. I don't think that we will, but we could. And it's possible. So be careful out there. Don't get wrecked. None of this is financial advice. Be safe out there. Make smart decisions. Do your own research. And have a lovely day. And just keep blasting off. Because that's what we like to do. Yeah. Blast off with ribs. See you next time. Get on board with crypto. Sheesh.